After a stunning photo shoot with Vogue, KimTaehyung disappears.
No uplookers.
No appearance. There is no shadow. The world seemed to stop waiting for the next news. What's really going on behind Vogue's camera lens? Some fans call this just a break, but others are convinced there's something bigger, something that no one wants to reveal. It all started with a special edition Vogue photoshoot. Taehyung appears in classic shades A black suit, a piercing gaze, and an almost cinematic atmosphere. The result? The internet exploded. ARMY praised her elegance and charisma. But behind that visual beauty, there was a strange silence that followed. After the camera goes off, Taehyung disappears from the radar. His last post on Instagram felt like a hidden message. The caption is short, ambiguous, as if it has a meaning that only he understands himself. A few days after the publication of Vogue, her schedule was suddenly empty. No news from the agency, no updates from HYB. Fans began to trace digital traces, flights, locations, to the last time online. But the result is nil. The hashtag Where's Taehyung has been trending in many countries. It's not the first time the idol has chosen silence, but this time, the silence felt different. Too quiet, too mysterious. The internet didn't take long to invent the theory. Some have mentioned that Taehyung is working on a secret project with Vogue or another luxury brand. But others speculated further that there was tension between Vogue's creative team and its management. An anonymous account even claimed that Taehyung rejected a certain artistic direction in the shoot. That said, he wants to show a more human side of himself, not just a fashion icon. Is that really what made him withdraw after the shoot? For Taehyung, art has always been a space of freedom. He is known as a person who likes exploration, not boundaries. However, what happens when the fashion world tries to define who he is? Vogue, with all its prestige, can be a field of conflict between public image and personal desires. Some longtime fans know Taehyung is not a figure that is easily controlled by trends. He chose silence not because he gave up, but because he was thinking, and perhaps is struggling against the world's expectations of him. But on the other hand, bolder theories emerged. That the photo shoot was actually part of a major project is hidden, a global collaboration with a legendary brand that involves the concept of duality. However, after the photo shoot ended, something in Taehyung changed, either because of pressure or because he realized something about himself. Since that day, he has not been seen in public. The paparazzi couldn't find him. Only rumors remained. But the night cannot forever swallow the light. A few weeks later, signs of Taehyung's whereabouts slowly appear, vague but real. There is news that he was seen in Paris, wearing a long coat, walking briskly through a small deserted street. No staff, no professional cameras, just a man with a sure step as if he were writing a new chapter in his life. ARMY, who saw the blurry photo, immediately panicked. Some relieved, some more confused. Is he preparing something? An unofficial report says that Vogue is actually still keeping some photos from the shoot. Photos that have never been made public. Photos with darker tones, with Taehyung's almost melancholy expression, as if he knew that this would be his last moment in front of the camera for a long time. Fans interpreted this as symbolic. Vogue became the last stage before she completely disappeared, in search of herself. Other rumors say that after the Vogue session, Taehyung turned down several major promotional offers from international brands. The reason? He wanted a break from the noise of the fashion world. But others believe Taehyung's silence is part of a grand strategy, a global project that will shake up the entertainment world. And perhaps this Vogue scandal is just part of a big game that we do not yet understand. But behind all the theories, there is a human side that is rarely talked about. Behind a smile, a camera, and a beam of light, there is someone who probably just wants to breathe. The world often forgets that even celebrities as big as Taehyung have limits. He can get tired. It can feel empty in the middle of glitter. And perhaps his silence was not out of drama, but out of a desire to rediscover his true self. Some pop culture analysts have suggested that Taehyung's silence could actually be an art form in itself, a silent performance that reflects criticism of the fast-paced world of modern entertainment. In his silence, he creates a space of interpretation, and in his mystery, he makes the world speak without him having to say a word. It is not simply disappearing. It is a new, more subtle yet powerful form of existence. And if it's true that Taehyung is planning something, Maybe this is his way of preparing for the resurrection. A comeback not only in the form of music, but also in the narrative of his own life. When he reappears, the world will see not only BTSSV, but also the new KimTaehyung, more mature, freer, and possible, more honest than ever. Some rumors circulated later that Vogue itself was preparing a follow-up project, and Taehyung's name again appeared on the discussion table. If true, then the Vogue scandal is not the end, but rather the beginning of a new, larger, and more personal collaboration. Some fashion insiders believe the photo shoot is just the first chapter of an unfinished story. Meanwhile, armies around the world continue to wait. Every little motion, every symbol, every faint photograph becomes the subject of analysis. They create theories, write poetry, make tribute videos. Taehyung's silence actually spawned creativity among his fans. He may be silent, but his inspiration continues to live among the millions of hearts that love him. And perhaps that's the true power of an artist, being able to move the world even in silence. When Taehyung finally steps in front of the camera again, whether for Vogue, music, or something completely new, the world will know that all this is not about scandals. It's about transformation, about a man who dares to pause in the middle of the spotlight, just to make sure he's still whole, still real, and still true to the art he loves. What do you think, Army? Was Taehyung's silence just a brief pause before the big storm, or was it the boldest statement he ever made? Write your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe he is preparing something big, or just looking for peace that has been lost behind the glitter of the world? And if you want to know the continuation of this Vogue scandal mystery, don't forget to press the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with your fellow army, because it could be the next chapter will appear sooner than we imagine.